Hello my friends, Matthew Deary checking in today, dressed a little nicer than usual because I'm going to be putting on my job seeker face.
We're not generally comfortable in an office setting, I would say.
I get cooped up.
And talk a little bit about how, even though I am a successful freelancer, I am always seeking out opportunities and job interviews within the video production realm.
Are you employed, Mr. Lebowski?
I run 2 successful video production companies based here in Minnesota.
How much money do you make a year before taxes?
And I love working for myself. I love the ownership of my work, the variety of the work I do, from drone to talking head to collaborating with other people, as well as the freedom that it gives me. So I'm currently not looking for a part-time or full-time position. Even despite that, when I'm active on LinkedIn, if I see a job that matches my criteria, I'll always apply. If somebody refers me to a position, I'll always inquire more. And certainly if I get a job interview, I'm always going to take that meeting. But if I'm happy and successful at what I'm doing as a freelancer, why?
I am no good before 11 a.m.
I also get headaches from computers, so I can't be around them for too long.
I take stuff.
So let's talk a little bit more about my video production journey. Back in 2013, I started a company called Downright Productions, and I did everything under the sun, from shooting photos to aerial work to shooting weddings to doing corporate or commercial work, literally anything and everything I could, scouring Craigslist, Facebook, taking referrals. And since then, the company has grown. And one of the things that I realized as I grew is that when you have a company that does everything under the sun, you're kind of like the jack of all trades but the master of none. And so I've heard other people within my field talk about how brides don't care about commercial work, and people who are going to hire you for commercial work certainly don't care that you shoot weddings. And so I wanted to have more of a siloed approach and have a business that focuses solely on wedding videography, and then something that can focus on commercial work. And so Downright Productions became Downright Weddings, and as you can see here, we focus solely on weddings. And then I started a company with my friend and constant collaborator Corey Whipper called Added Element. Within that 8-year timeline, sometimes Downright Productions has simply been a side hustle because I've taken on full-time positions in the past 8 years, because as much as I love freelancing and running my own businesses, it's like a roller coaster, and there's so many highs and so many lows. When you have responsibilities like a wife and kids and a mortgage, sometimes the hustle isn't as enticing or as responsible as a steady paycheck.
Get a job, sir!
Like I mentioned, sometimes I made the responsible choice for my family and took a full-time position, but actually twice I had the perfect opportunity, and I would have never known about this perfect opportunity had I not taken the meeting. And so even though I'm happy now with what I'm doing and how my career is progressing, I never know what opportunity I could be missing if I never take that meeting. And like I said, the job you're interviewing for or talking about might not be the best fit in terms of compensation or opportunity, blah, blah, blah.
Other weaknesses? We're slow learners, and we're not particularly good listeners. That'll be a huge problem.
We're also slow learners.
But at the same time, you get the opportunity to showcase your experiences. As a drone pilot, I often talk about how I've worked with National Geographic and flown all over the country in various capacities. And so talking about that sometimes will plant a seed in that person's mind where they think, we need a contract drone pilot for this job. Maybe that's an opportunity down the road. They've already vetted me. They already know me. They don't have to put out feelers or an ad on Craigslist for a drone pilot. They can just contact me directly. And a lot of times that also happens with wedding videography, where you're talking about you have a wedding company and then their niece is getting married, or their cousin is getting married, or their daughter is getting married. And so a lot of times you never know what opportunities are going to come to you unless you take a meeting. If you've made it this far into the video, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to this channel, because subscribing is free and this channel is blowing up. 266 subs. Count them. Go!
4, 5,
Another great advantage to taking a meeting is the opportunity to meet somebody face to face or even over video call.
Johnny, you didn't mute yourself.
Once you have the opportunity to break the ice and give somebody the chance to get to know you, they're more likely to refer work to you.
Michael, I like the sound of your voice. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna buy $1 million worth of paper products today.
Whether that be through people that they know within their network or hire you directly for maybe a contract position where they need an interview shot or they need some aerial done. They already know you, they've already vetted you, they know your equipment, and a lot of times it's a big leg up and an opportunity for them to not have to go out and to put out feelers or put an ad on Craigslist. They can hire people who they know within the industry, and that would have never have happened if you would have not met that person.
Nice to meet you.
And this has happened to me more times than I can count. And even recently, I took a job interview at my church, Crossroads, for a producer position, and that ended up not being a good fit, but they referred me to a video producer position at another church called Woodland Hills. And that also didn't end up being a good fit for myself, for my family. But I made a good connection with 2 of their video people there, and through that connection they've hired me for contract work, and I would have never have gotten these smaller one-off jobs and an opportunity to help the church in a pinch and make a little bit of money on the side. I would have never had that opportunity had I not taken those job interviews. Aside from that example, taking a meeting also got me my latest full-time position back in 2018 as the senior video producer at Self-Esteem Brands. I have some friends who work at Self-Esteem Brands, and they gave me the heads up that this position had opened. They ended up hiring the position internally.
You're not sturdy wings material.
The creative director was a little green on mentoring or developing a video person. And so she reached out to me and said, your resume came onto my desk after I had already hired this internal person. Would you take a meeting and come and talk to me about some of the things that I should look for? And I'd just love to bounce some ideas off of you. Now, I wasn't necessarily salty, but I mean, they didn't even give me a job interview or even a callback for the potential position, and now they're reaching out to me asking me to help them mentor the person that they hired instead of me. I took the meeting, and I ended up having a good back and forth and a good camaraderie with this creative director. And as luck would have it, the internal person that they hired was a little too green and didn't end up working out. And about 4 or 5 months later, they ended up hiring me for that video production position. Now, I would have never have gotten that job opportunity had I not taken that meeting. I have since moved on from that full-time position to focus on Made Right and Added Element. But without that opportunity, I would have never met my friends, Amy and Amanda, who run Finn and Gray, who are constant collaborators of mine and a linchpin in my business. And had I not taken that meeting or taken that job, I would have never met them. So I may never have a full-time position at another company again. I might just continue to grow these 2 businesses. However, I am not going to change one of the things that has made me successful, which is constantly being on the search and constantly keeping your eyes open to new opportunities, to new meetings, because you never know what those meetings could mean for your business. And again, I love what I do. I love having the freedom. I love the opportunity to have a variety of work. I love not having to go into the office every day. But again, you never know how an opportunity might present itself unless you take that meeting. It might not be the job in the short term, but in the long term, down the road, that person has now been added to your network.
We want to invite you to have lunch with us.
So those are my 2 cents. Clearly that is through the lens of video production, but I think this is applicable to anybody who's looking to grow their career. Continue to seek out opportunities. So that's all I have for now. I love you, friends. I'll see you on the next one.
We're done now.
Daddy's done, yeah.